right, the next 3 discussions are going to be panel discussions to really allow you guys to get some more information about what's happening in the state, what's happening with the Department of Ag, and then lastly we're going to wrap up the conference with some of those big challenges facing Nevada agriculture. So this is going to be our business resources panel from experts in the industry. We have Catrinna Schulz, the NDA Education and Information Officer, Tanner Lewis, the NDA Community Nutrition Specialist, Brad Scribner, the Made Nevada Program Manager, and Kelli, the Nevada SBDC Agriculture Advisor. And moderating the panel today is Sierra Russell, our NDA Public Information Officer.
Hello, everyone. If you do get thirsty, there's juice and water back in that corner. I know people were looking for it. Thank each of you for being here today and for being willing to answer some questions for us and join us for this discussion. We're going to spend the next 30 to 40 minutes learning about what you do, and I'll ask you some specific questions. So with that, I will go ahead and start with Brad. Can you tell us how Made in Nevada and Grown in Nevada helps to create a unique identity for Nevada-made products, and what impact has this had on brand loyalty among consumers?
Sure. So Made in Nevada has been around since about 1990. It's taken over, not taken over, merged with the Nevada Small Business Development Center, which Kelli and I are both employees of. In 2015, I came on in 2018, and essentially it's a statewide marketing cooperative. So its power comes from the amount of Nevada small businesses that we have, and that can be manufacturers, small artisans. We recently merged with the Nevada Grown program that was kind of long-standing and took on about 200 new ranchers, producers, growers in the state in an effort to promote them and gain visibility for them as well. The benefits really include a page on our main directory where consumers can find you, can look at your business description, any logos, product photos, your contact information, can search by areas of the state, by product type, by crop type. You also get access to our Shop Made in Nevada e-commerce site, which is completely free to use. It's also, by the way, completely free to become a Made in Nevada member, as long as your product is 51% or more made or significantly transformed here in the state. And with that e-commerce platform, we've got about 180 different businesses on there right now. And like I said, the power comes from the amount of businesses that we're able to all get together. So when one business gets on their e-commerce shop, sets it up, picks their products, picks their shipping, we take no fees. They bring their consumer base and their audience on there, and those folks can then discover other producers, growers, artisans, manufacturers that are here in state as well. So everyone gets a little bit of shine from that as well. We do social media promotion around each of our members. We also do networking events. The last couple of years I've partnered with Dylan to do a lot of networking events around the state in an effort to just get business owners in the same room. We don't do any conga lines or any forced kind of networking. It's all just allowing business owners to talk on their own terms and meet, and hopefully those organic opportunities come up. So there's a few of the things that we're able to offer through the Made in Nevada program, along with our access to our logo, which we encourage, but it's not mandatory. We encourage all of our members to put on their products as much as possible to gain that brand recognition and let folks and consumers know that they're supporting a local business.
Thank you. All right, Catrinna, we're going to shift over into you. Can you tell us how the NDA identifies promising markets for Nevada's agricultural products, both domestically and internationally?
Absolutely. So with the NDA, we do a lot of our own market research and data analysis. So we leverage the data from USDA NAS. We also use InPlan and Euromonitor to help identify what those market needs and exports. We also partner with the Western United States Agricultural Trade Association for our international exports. And so I do analysis on trends, emerging markets, and products. We also meet with our in-country contractors once a month to help keep up with any new and additional information that comes through to help our manufacturers.
Thank you. We're going to pass it down to Kelli now. Can you tell us what the biggest obstacles small businesses in Nevada's agriculture sector currently face, and how does the Small Business Development Center assist in overcoming them?
Sure. So I think that some of the biggest obstacles that any small business faces has to do with accessing resources. So with agricultural producers, obviously there's that land and water piece, and that's something that we're constantly trying to partner and think outside of the box and identify different strategies and tactics to access those. Additionally, farmers are really good at farming, and just because you're good at farming doesn't mean that you come with the knowledge of how to do all of the other aspects of managing or running a business. And so at the Small Business Development Center, we say that small business is our business. Those are the things that we know about, are how to help small business owners identify their operation plan, discover who their target market segments are, figuring out their pricing strategies, and also to actually, if you need to go to get a loan, whether that be from FSA or American Ag Credit or an SBA-backed loan through a conventional lender, we can work with you one-on-one. It's no cost, it's confidential, and we can help you put together your business plan to be able to access those additional capital resources. So one of the things that we like to think about at the SBDC is that we're connectors. We help connect our clients with the resources that they need, whether that be funding, whether that be education or information. And so in my specific role working in food systems and agriculture, Brad had mentioned we partner a lot with Dylan in the Department of Agriculture. I partner with the Desert Farming Initiative. We have a Nevada Farm Apprenticeship Training Program that's running right now where people can actually get that hands-on experience, as well as horticulture curriculum and business development curriculum. We work with you in our extension, so we're trying to provide all of these resources for our clients in order to enable them to improve their business and be more profitable and viable over the long term.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, Tanner, can you tell us about the mission of the Home Feeds Nevada program and how it addresses food security across the state?
Yeah. So the mission of the Home Feeds Nevada program really is to combat food insecurity while also supporting and growing local agriculture in the state. I think a good point to make on that question would be the fact that food insecurity is one of the highest in the nation in Nevada. So about 1 in 7 households in Nevada face food insecurity. In southern Nevada alone, it's about 14.6%, Clark County. And that being said, that's hundreds of thousands of individuals living in a household with food insecurity. So that's a huge point. And to address that, the Home Feeds Nevada program really comes into play with this. So what we do is we actually buy these locally sourced and harvested products, and then we distribute that to food banks like 3 Square and Food Bank of Northern Nevada. Right now we've purchased around 3.5 million pounds of food to those food banks, which they distributed to those food insecure populations. So it really is, a 2-pronged program, which many people love. Our approach really creates a sustainable food system that tackles immediate hunger.
Great, thank you. So I think that's kind of a good insight as to what each of these programs do and how they support Nevadans and Nevada agriculture, right? I have a few additional questions that I'm just going to open it up to you guys here on the panel. So whoever wants to take the first stab at it. Our first question is going to be, how do your respective programs work together to strengthen Nevada's agricultural ecosystem? And are there any joint initiatives that you're currently working on?
Sure. I think, I don't come from ag, so I tend to really rely on Miss Kelli here because she's super knowledgeable, more than I am. But as for the Made Nevada, Grown in Nevada side, we do work pretty consistently with the Department of Agriculture. I'm not sure if you've seen the craft beverage passport program that is in its 3rd year, I think, this year. We're getting 2025 ready to go. That's one thing that we're able to do specifically for brewers, distillers, and wineries in the state to raise that level of awareness. We give a Made in Nevada gift basket, a small little token of our appreciation to those that visit every single brewery, distillery in that passport. So that kind of shows some other products in the state. And then we work closely, like Kelli mentioned, with DFI. You want our extension to and Nevada farmers markets and in a group to promote the farmers markets that are here in the state. A lot of people have trouble finding, what market is open at what time, on what day, in what area. And for the first time, we've been able to put all of that information together with the help of those different agencies on our Made in Nevada website. If you go to madenevada.org and search our events tabs, you'll see farmers markets, and you'll be able to find any farmers markets that are near to you. And then I'll pass it over to Kelli. I think she can speak a little bit more in depth about our partnerships.
Yeah, so the latest collaborative partnership that's happening with all of our different agencies is the new Nevada Regional Food Business Center program. So the team for the Nevada Food Business Center involves UNR Extension, the Desert Farming Initiative, the Nevada Department of Agriculture, and the Nevada Small Business Development Center. We are a part of the Southwest region, which includes California, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. And the idea of this regional food business center is it's funded through the USDA, and it's intended to be a coordinating agency and to do technical assistance and capacity building with food systems businesses. So a food systems business is, if you look within something that goes into the ground and is harvested in Nevada all the way through to when it's consumed by the consumer, any business along that whole chain. So we are providing one-on-one technical assistance. There are some education programs that are happening, facilitated through the University Nevada Reno Extension Small Business Education Program. And then as far as the capacity building piece goes, we will be having grant funds available for for-profit food systems businesses. The funding cannot be applied for production, but anything post-production. There are going to be 2 levels of awards over the course of the next 3 years, $10,000 awards for our Food Systems Business Builder Accelerator Program, and then $50,000 awards. So we have about $300,000 in funding from 2025 through 2027 to allocate. So we have a website and their education and that technical assistance. So stay tuned for our announcement about those grant programs. It should be coming at the beginning of December.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay. How are each of your programs helping Nevada's agricultural business adapt to changing consumer preferences, such as demand for locally sourced products?
I mean, it's
For the NDA, we have one-on-one meetings with a lot of our farmers, ranchers, and manufacturers, finding out what their needs are as well. And also just with our trade reports and economic analysis, biennial reports, being able to put out that information before them and for you guys to be able to use that as a resource.
So with the Home Bees Nevada program, again, one big piece of that is growing these smaller agricultural products. And so with that being said, one thing that's great with the program is that we take these smaller producers and then we can start giving them, a more sustainable place for their products to go. That being said, it helps grow their facilities, their farms, and which can help them grow into something larger later on.
I think one other thing I'll mention on the Home Bees Nevada program as well that sometimes we don't always think about is these food insecure individuals who are typically going to food banks for food. Generally, they're not receiving local products, right? So this is a great opportunity for them to receive that fresh produce and that local produce that they typically wouldn't get either.
Yeah, so I think it's important to identify that there's not much that any one of us does that doesn't involve the others and our collaborative relationships with other resource providers, right? So when I think about changing consumer preference. One thing that we've seen with kind of these younger generations is that they want to know more information about where their food is coming from and how it was produced. And so, you know, we talk a lot about the value adds of different agricultural techniques, whether that be sustainable, regenerative, organic. And so I want to highlight that right now, one of our partners, the Desert Farming Initiative, they're here at the conference, they have a table, has grant funding to help assist agricultural producers with transitioning towards organic or regenerative practices. Additionally, you know, the SBDC, we've been collaborative with UNR Extension to provide education and information about things like sustainable and regenerative agriculture through workshops, on-farm workshops, and also through you know, gatherings. So there were some presentations recently at the Farm Bureau's annual meeting about sustainable and regenerative agriculture, and we do have upcoming conferences that are being put on by UNR Extension, both down in Southern Nevada. The Urban Ag Conference is in January, and then in Reno, or the Sparks area, we have the Small Farms Conference in February. So just want to kind of highlight some of the ways that we're all working together to provide support, education, resources, capacity building assistance to Nevada agricultural producers.
And I could just speak anecdotally about, you know, of the top 10 sellers on the Shop Made Nevada e-commerce platform, 4 of them are agricultural businesses. The top seller by a long shot is actually an animal pet food manufacturer down in Las Vegas. But right behind that is Snowball Ranch, or Organics, out of Puerto Rico. They've almost sold $10,000 worth of beef through our website. So, like Kelli mentioned, there is a demand for locally grown products, and so by kind of centralizing those things into one place that consumers can visit and know that they're getting an authentic and certified locally grown product, we can all strengthen our economy.
Thank you. So for the third question, for businesses looking to expand or start in Nevada's food and agricultural sector, what advice or resources would each of you recommend as critical points to know?
For the NDA, I mean, I would suggest taking advantage of all the free resources out there. So one of our big ones is like the WUSADA, the Western United States Trade Association. It's a free membership. We take companies trade missions and trade shows. They also offer like fund matching, and we do a lot of referrals back to SBDC, that Made in Nevada campaigns, and Home Foods Nevada programs. So just really using your expertise and referrals.
So the first thing that I would say is just to echo Catrinna. There's a wealth of free resources out there in Nevada for new and prospective small business owners. So whether that be through the Small Business Development Center or other small business administration partners, we have all 4 in the state of Nevada. So there's the SBDC, there's SCORE, we have Women's Business Centers, and the Veterans Business Outreach Center, working with veteran small business owners. There's just so much out there that you can get information for free without having to pay for it. So I would say know your resources, come in, and we have a booth here if you're interested in more information about how to become an SBDC client. We can help you navigate this very rich environment of resources. I would say the number one thing that I talk with clients about is knowing who your customers are. And so, small business owners often start with very limited resources, whether that be their money or their time. And so knowing who are the people who are going to be interested in buying your product allows you to allocate those limited resources towards reaching those very specific groups of people. So I think that customer segmentation probably tops my list overall, aside from just being able to get as much as you can for free. So if you have more questions about how to do that, please stop by and see me.
All right, so with that, I am actually going to open it up to all of you. Do we have any questions that you'd like to ask the panel?
Dan Lotsweet from Lotsweet Family Farms up by Elko. One of the things that we struggle with most is in marketing our products locally is meeting consumers where they are or adapting to their existing buying habits rather than sort of forcing them to change their buying habits in order for them to access our products. Do you guys have any comments on how you're addressing that, or do you guys have any strategies that you guys are working on to meet that issue?
Yeah, so, you know, a lot of the work that we've been collaboratively focusing on is identifying where there are gaps in our food system, right? And the aggregation, storage, and distribution of locally grown or made products is absolutely one of those gaps. So as far as strategies to help, you know, partner with producers to keep you on your farm growing, right? Because that is where you are most effective. The second that you leave your farm with your product to have to go and deliver it, especially, you know, where you're located, because you're kind of a ways away from where the customers are. That takes your time away from your farm. So that is definitely a point to really start to think creatively about strategies. And there's not one strategy that's going to answer the problem for every producer, right? That's kind of one of the challenges here. But I can speak to one of the collaborations that we've seen play out down in Southern Nevada. And so last year's winner of the Nevada Agricultural Business of the Year, Rodney Mering from Blue Lizard Farms, is working in collaboration with another small business owner so he's in Caliente, with Alex Pope from Ega Greens, who's in Mesquite. And so Alex will go and touch base with Rodney, pick up product, as well as product from other agricultural producers around him, and we'll bring it down to Mesquite for sale in a new food hub that Alex has started. So that is just one of the ways that we can think of outside the box, working collaboratively, supporting one another. One of the most brilliant things about Nevada's agricultural community is that when we're talking about food for people, local food grown for people, we are nowhere near market saturation, right? Like, our limiting factor is water. We are never going to grow enough fresh produce in Nevada to feed all of the people who live in Nevada, which means that we're not competitors with each other. You know, there is not the need to compete with each other in that space. And so collaboration between agricultural producers to identify who is best positioned to do what activity is a great way to crowdsource solutions for these problems. So I know that's not a magical answer in a box, but just an example of how we can kind of try to work that problem and think about it from a whole bunch of different angles.
All right, anyone else?
Doug Boston with Nevada Farm Bureau. What is the outlook for Home Feed Nevada and financially cutting enough resources to continue the program and continue to have the success?
Yeah, so that is a good question because we do get that a lot. There is hope of getting additional funding, right? This program is here to stay, that being said, but the funding is not. So our team is always looking out for additional grants and funds, and there is some new hope in the future to get that. I don't have those answers quite yet, but we will know shortly.
Anyone else?